Now let's welcome him in. Aaron Long, U.S. men's national team center back, New York Red Bulls center back. And do I need to buy you some pictures? Have you been staring at that wall behind you this entire quarantine?
This is the guest bedroom. This is the guest bedroom.
Okay. So apparently you don't have a lot of guests. Well, you haven't, obviously, over the last
Just
8 to 12 weeks. That's for sure.
Yeah, not a lot going on here. This is like my media room now. It's like turned into anytime I'm doing an interview, I just come in here, get away from all the dirty stuff outside. I don't ever have to clean it. It's great.
So before we get into it, you started individual trainings this week. How's it going?
Yep, started on Monday. It's going amazing, actually. It's so nice to, even though we can't pass the ball with each other and get close and give each other, high fives and hugs, it's still nice just being out on the field with each other, doing the same drills, even if we're in our own quadrants. It's just nice to feel that unity, feel that support, go through things together, struggle together. It's so nice seeing the guys again.
What's been the most difficult part of this entire quarantine for you, Aaron?
Well, one thing is finding surfaces on our own. I know here in New York and New Jersey, it's really tough to find any type of grass fields to work out on. So all of our workouts have been in, parking lots and parking garages, parking structures, just on the streets. And we're running tons of miles. We're doing fitness. We're doing doggies. And that takes a big toll on your body. It takes a big toll on your knees and ankles after a while. I know after the first week first month, I had over 100 miles ran. And that stuff starts to add up after a while. So it's so nice to get back on grass and be back at the training facility.
But it sounds like you've done a pretty good job of staying in good shape, though.
Yeah, I mean, we have regiments. We got to submit our stuff every day to our team. We have an app that we had to download and kind of send in our work. They send workloads every day, so they've kept us busy for sure.
So let me ask you that, because now obviously you got the rumors floating around about the Orlando tournament. First off, what are your thoughts on what the league's trying to pull off here?
I think it sounds complex and sounds difficult. I see two sides of it, right? It's like on one side, I would love to play games again. I would love to be back with my teammates in training, passing the ball. It'd be unbelievable. It's almost torture being out there right now on the field and seeing Tim Parker like 50 yards away from me and not being able to hit a long ball to him. It's terrible. So on that hand, I would love it. But then there's always, the safety issues and being away from your family for 2 months. And I think those are the only two sides of the coin that I can see, really.
So when players are talking about this tournament, is safety the number one thing everyone's talking about? Because that's kind of what I'm hearing.
Safety is a big one for sure. I know that we can control a lot of things as players ourselves and as staff ourselves, but it's like, who's cleaning the rooms? Are they quarantining as well? Who's the chef's going to be? Stuff like that. So, I mean, if we're going to go down there and put a lot of time and a lot of effort into that tournament, which, if we're going to go down there, we're going to do it right and we're all going to give our all. We want to stay safe, and that is a big thing for me. And I'm sure everyone here in as a player pool.
So let's go to the New York Red Bulls in this tournament in Orlando. If it does happen, it sounds like your regimen's been pretty intense. How quickly do you think that team can get ready?
Yeah, I mean, I think after this first week, I think the coaching staff was pleasantly surprised with our fitness levels and how well we did adapt to trainings on our own. And we're looking good. We're looking sharp. So I think we could be ready to go. I don't know the exact rules if they're going to allow more subs or what that would be like. I know the weather can be super hot, but yeah, I think we'd be ready to go in a couple of weeks.
When you look at this New York Red Bulls team, it's had a lot of change since you've been there. Is it capable of competing at a high level in this Eastern Conference?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that we prove that every year. I think that every year we kind of go into a new season and we seem to lose a big player, a veteran player, a big guy. And there's always a lot of question marks going into that. Can we replace a Sasha Kleshin? Can we replace a Dax McCarty? And now it's a Bradley Wright Phillips. Now it's a Luis Robles. But I think that this system that we have and the New York Red Bulls as a whole, we do a great job of producing young players and getting players from our USL League and recruiting young players. And we're always competitive. So, yeah, definitely.
I'm glad you brought up system because that was literally my next question. When you go from the system of the New York Red Bulls, which is very unique, and then you go to the system of the U.S. men's national team with Greg Berhalter and his time in Columbus, that's different than what you're doing. How tough is that for you as a center back?
Yeah, it was tough, especially in the beginning. There's an adapting period, and I think my club saw it for sure, probably more than the national team. But yeah, the styles are completely different in terms of how we build out and what we do with the ball and tactically. So I found myself last year a lot coming back from the national team, especially after Gold Cup, where I'm there for a month and really like drilling these principles into my head. And then I get the ball and I pass it back to my goalkeeper in training, and we're like, all right, wait, what's going on, Aaron? We do not do that here. That's Red Bull tactics. Like, so it is hard to flip that switch, but I think the coaching staff saw, and I saw myself, that it's easier to flip the switch now that I've learned it and I've done it a couple times. So it's not too bad.
Let's stay with the national team, Aaron. It's amazing to actually think that the next time you guys play a game could be a World Cup qualifier. How intense is that to think about, in the sense that you guys are still getting used to playing with each other, and yet the next time maybe for real?
Yeah, it's big. And it's something that we all know and we all think about, and we know the importance of it. But more than anything, I think that we've, as a national team, have stayed in touch like extremely well. We have a group chat. All the coaches are in there. We do weekly riddles. We check in with each other. We play Fortnite with each other. Like, it's a very, very close group. And from what I've heard, it's a lot closer than groups in the past in terms of like a whole unit. But I mean, everyone's in this group chat and we're having a lot of fun, and we can't wait to get out on the field together. Now we're starting a new section with like the mental minute. We're sending out like mentality things every week. It's really good. We're staying sharp, and we know that it could be a really big game, our next one together, but we're ready for it.
Is this group have a good understanding the amount of pressure that's on this time to qualify, in the sense of that the results haven't always been there over the last 2 years? Internally, is there some pressure there, or do you guys just kind of blow us all on the outside off?
I mean, we understand, what we signed up for, and we understand the responsibilities of the national team. We know that there's pressure. We know that we have to get results. We're not going to shy away from that at all. In terms of internally feeling pressure, I think it's a very young group, and I think that it's very easy for a lot of guys to be smiling and joking around in the group chats, and we have a great time. But when it comes to trainings and games, we take it serious, and these guys know how to flip the switch as well.
Aaron, when you look at your career, it's been a remarkable rise in 4 or 5 years. You went from going in and around USL, then all of a sudden you catch it right in New York, and then you turn into an MLS Defender of the Year, and then immediately I'm calling your national team game and you're captain of that team. Have you thought about that at all? And if you have, what have you learned from the entire process?
Yeah, I've thought about it a little bit. You kind of have to – it was a big whirlwind, and I was kind of riding that huge wave, and it was coming so fast. It was just like the next challenge is here, the next challenge is here, the next challenge is here. So it was almost easy to keep going and just keep climbing that ladder. Now that I've had some time to reflect, I just have to set new goals, make sure that I'm not getting comfortable by any means, and just staying as sharp as I can and know that the sky's the limit.
Aaron, what are those next goals? Because I have a feeling you believe you can play at a higher level in Europe. Is that the next goal for you?
The next goal for me right now is playing competitive games and being, the best center back that I can be for my team. That's for sure. Whatever happens with that is going to happen. That's kind of out of my control, especially with all the stuff going on. National team goals is just to qualify for the World Cup. So I think in terms of club and country, those are my 2 biggest goals right now.
Yeah, and I think you've done a very good job at deflecting any kind of question I've come to you, which it means this quarantine has been very good for you. You need to leave that mental asylum guest room, because as you're talking, all I'm doing is just sitting there going, like, you're entrenched. Like,
this is my zone, I'm like in cerebro in here.
Aaron, good seeing you, my friend, and hopefully I'm seeing you soon on the field.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.